This podcast is brought to you by Podcast Nation.
Welcome to Nirvana Sisters podcast, where we take the intimidation out of well-being and beauty to help you achieve your highest state, your nirvana. We are sisters-in-law and your hosts. I'm Amy Sherman.
And I'm Katie Chandler. So let's get into some real conversation.
Welcome back to the show, Nirvana Sisters family. I am so excited. We are so excited, Katie and I, to have Ana Oliveira with us today. We have been dying to have a show about organizing and how we organize our homes, which then helps us organize our lives. And we found Ana actually through Kat Ashmore because she does Kat's house. And I was like, okay, she looks amazing. So we reached out and we're so glad to have you here with us today, Ana. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. This is so exciting. I have listened to one of the latest podcasts, and it's been really wonderful to get to know you guys a little bit more, your guests. So
thank you so much. Well, for our audience, we'll give a little bit of a bio on Ana so y'all can get to know her a little bit. But Ana founded Top Team more than a decade ago when she was pregnant with her first daughter. While she began with a cleaning business, Ana was inspired by her own life experience to expand into home organization. She's a mom of two, wife, founder, and lead organizer of Top Team Connecticut Organizing Services, serving Connecticut and beyond today. And I have a quote that I pulled, which I thought was very relevant. That you sent over. I was just an overwhelmed mom that could never pass the kitchen when it came to organizing my home. A tired mom who decided to stop negotiating the non-negotiable, the control I have over my physical space. Ana derives great pleasure helping her clients restore peacefulness and order to their busy lives, watching them fall in love with their homes again and have a space where their families can enjoy life and thrive is the best testimonial I'll ever get, she says. So love that. And I'm so excited to chat with you today.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Should we kick it off with our Nirvana of the week, Amy?
We should. We haven't done this in a while. I'm going to flip it to you, Katie, so I can think of it.
I know. I was just thinking about it. And I think last weekend, well, today, what's today? Today's Friday. So this last Sunday, I guess we can still consider it part of this week, right? This past Sunday, we had such a great family day. My daughter didn't have to go to Hebrew school in the morning. So we got to get up and spend the whole day together. So we got out the door at 10 a.m., went to breakfast. And then next thing I knew, we spent the entire day out. We were just shopping around, running around town. And then we had lunch out, and then we went and had ice cream on the water. And then we came home, and I, for whatever reason, just wanted to get in my yard and start pulling weeds. So we played outside for 2 hours. It was just such a good family day. I don't know.
Sounds
it was
perfect.
Yeah, we don't have days like that all the time on the weekend. It was so nice. What about you,
so
Amy?
nice. I would say I had more of a gratitude moment this week. So my son recently suffered a concussion. He's okay. It's just needs a lot of time to heal. And I've been feeling really grateful lately for the support that he's gotten at school and the support from his doctor, because everyone's just been really patient and helpful and helping him to get better. So I just feel really grateful that I have their support and they're really helping him to be set up for success. So that's kind of my nirvana of this week and the last few weeks. What about you, Ana?
I had several moments this week, which I'm so grateful for. It's always nice when you have more to thank for than to ask for, I guess. But we got to help one of our clients who we've been in touch for a while, but they had water issues, and we finally get to set up days and to help him move a few things in his basement. But little did I know, so I met him a couple weeks ago, and then we finally got to go see him and execute the project this week. But I didn't have the correct scoop of the job until we actually got our hands on. And we are used to do different, projects, but this one was years and years of waiting for this moment to happen on his end. He just didn't know that until we actually went. So the text I got the next day, it was like 8 hours of work straight up, moving up and down the stairs, 5 different organizers. And I got the text the next day, like the most beautiful thank you note I have gotten in a long time. Just expressing, he's in his late 70s, he's not young. It was a huge project that he couldn't have done himself. And it was just like a really, gratitude moment for me. It was nice to hear that you can still, make a change out there, even if, it was a really beautiful moment. I didn't expect to get a thank you note right after. I usually get Google reviews and emails later, but this was like the next day, and it was amazing.
It's nice. He was impacted clearly by everything
Oh
that
yeah.
you did. That's so great.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Such
would
a good
imagine your
feeling.
job, your job must be very rewarding in that sense. So like as soon as it's over, the gratification is really there, right?
Exactly. And this now most of our projects, like 99% of our projects, we like to call it one day transformation because we get to start and finish on the same day. This was just like after years and years of working with people, this is a service that when you reach out, you're already overwhelmed. You cannot wait for us to start, and you can't wait for the whole process to be done with. So we found over the years that the most of our 94% of our clients are repeat clients. They come back for more areas. They gift family members. But that instant gratification of, okay, she's going to start at 9 o'clock by 6:30, I don't know, 5 o'clock some days. It's going to be completely done. So,
Yeah.
it is pretty amazing and rewarding to, these are projects that people have been pushed and waited for. Like, we have clients that have been in the same home for over 40 years.
Right.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. So let's get into it in terms of organizing. So give us kind of your organizing 101. Like, what are some tips and I can't speak today. Tips and tricks and best practices, like when you're starting to organize a space?
Um, I often like to refer our services, or even myself, like when you call someone an organizer, you always picture like holding acrylic products and coming into your house with a bunch of bags and trying to implement all of these products, right? But we have shifted a little bit over the last few years because I noticed that what people really crave, although the marketing today, like you open Instagram, you do see beautiful spaces with not always attainable results,
Yeah.
right? Because you have a different lifestyle, a different family, different budget, and all that kind of stuff. So we do like to call ourselves as simplifiers because that's exactly what we do when we come in our client to into our clients' homes, and we develop different systems is really to simplify their home. If anything, including products, is complicating the process, we just, we move away from that and uh, try to restart the project. But one of the best tips that I always like to start with, because our focus is to really simplify, I always like to say and start every project. Like if someone calls me and say, "Hey, I only need you to come and bring beautiful products and labels," I'm like, "Mm-mm-mm, I can't do that," because the first step and the most impactful step is really like purge first, organize less. You
Mm.
need to go over everything you have first, one by one, and that's why our process is quick because we're used to it. If you try to do yourself, you're probably going to take, forever. There's sentimental items that it might take you longer to make decisions on. But we always start with you have to sort everything you have first, categorize, and then you make decisions on it. Focus is always to simplify, and then we come up and beautify things, but always start with purging.
Yeah. And that's always the hard part. And do you recommend like taking everything out of the space or staying in the space and like, I know people have different philosophies there.
Right. I always feel like that's if you pull everything out, it won't make me overwhelmed. It actually makes me really excited when I do that. But oftentimes, whenever so we arrive at 9 o'clock typically at jobs, and I'm like, most of our clients work full time, but if there is a project that we kind of need some decision making, I always recommend they're being available. They don't have to hold hands with us. But I'm always like, give me an hour and the place is going to look like a disaster, like a bomb went off. But I promise it won't look like this by 4 o'clock. So it will make you very overwhelmed if you pull everything out. That's why it's highly recommended to have a professional with you who can actually see the final picture. But if you do it yourself, I always recommend if you open a closet, if you open your linen closet and you look at all these, different size sheets and towels and medicine and all that kind of stuff, only pull out what you know you're getting rid of. If you're up for the project, for the whole project, pulling things out and going one by one, make sure you have time, make sure you have music on, and make sure don't we underestimate how much time things take, and we often want things like this because we see before and afters and we're so used to the instant gratification, right? You see the before picture and then you see the after. There's a lot of that needs to happen in between, so don't underestimate the time. Make sure you have enough time to dedicate to that um, chore or
How do
project.
you help clients decide what to purge and what not to purge? If you have somebody that is really having a hard time letting go of things, how do you get them there?
Mhm. Um, it depends. We always try to find the root of the attachment first, right? Um, we do a lot of state organizing where there is a lot of sentimental value involved, but we often purge pantries where there is absolutely no sentimental involved, but there is the monetary involvement, right? The guilt of getting rid of things, the guilt of spending and then tossing things. And I always like to remind clients one thing. If you have a hard time letting go of things because of the monetary value, have in mind that the money that you have spent left your bank account the minute that you purchase, not when you're getting rid of, not when you're donating, not when you're selling. I mean, some people do make a portion of that money, but you have to have that in mind, and that actually helps you purchase and spend consciously. Because I feel like when you know that your money is gone the minute you purchase, you have a better idea. Okay, I'm not like Amazon is so quick that we buy things even if we don't use it. Let's just be honest. But we all do, right? Uh, but I always like to remind clients this. If there is sentimental value, I try to remind them that there is many different ways that you can still treasure that moment or that item in different ways than just taking up precious real estate of your current home.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I'm one of those people that everything looks really, really neat from the outside. Like you walk in my house, and like everything's where it should be. And it's
Hmm.
always in the same place. Like I'll have a thing sit in the same place for a decade.
Hmm.
That's where I want it. But then
You
like if
mean
you
decorative items?
yeah, decorative
Okay.
items. Exactly. So like everything looks intentional and neat and tidy. But then if you open a closet or a drawer or my office, it's a disaster, an
Hmm.
absolute bomb disaster. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm surrounded by disastrous drawers right now in my closet. So it's overwhelming. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Occasionally I'll organize something, but I'm only going to organize it if it is something that is constantly like in my life, like my daughter's closet. She's
Okay.
very messy. I will take the time to organize her closet because we're constantly going back and forth to that closet. But like these cabinets and drawers in my office, I open them twice a year.
I know.
So
I feel the
shove
same.
stuff in there.
I totally feel the same way. I call it organized chaos. Like I know where everything is and it looks
Yeah.
somewhat organized, but there's like a lot of stuff. And you're
Mhm.
right, because I've had like on my list to clear my cabinet drawers in my office for like a year and I still haven't done it because to your point, I open it like twice a year and I'm like, oh, I need to organize this. And then I like close it and I'm like, okay, bye.
Yeah,
Mhm.
totally.
And that goes back to where I started because I remember. So I have two girls and they are 2 years apart. So for a couple of years, I basically had two babies at the same time, my home to manage, a business to manage, among up a lot of other things. And I just felt like I was always like running in circles. I could put up a really nice makeup. I like to call it makeup because that's how my house used to look like. Like you would walk in, like you said, everything had a place, and everybody thought that things were actually organized because they were behind doors until a day that I realized that I was like, okay, so I feel like I'm running in circles. If I'm not home, I'm thinking about the things that needs to be done. There's always a lot of noise if I'm home or even if I'm outside the house. I'm never fully my house could have been the cleanest, like from top to bottom, the cleanest, but I knew exactly where the mess was. And that was always in the back of my head. Like I was always being called if I couldn't, I couldn't play with my kids because there was so much noise around that needed to be spaces that needed to be dialed in and noises that really had to be muted for me to focus on other things like, like my business and other things in life. So it is life changing once you get to mute that noise and really like enjoy your home. I feel
I
like our
know. It,
homes
it
are
definitely like
we're
frees up that space in your head. Like mentally, you can just kind of relax.
absolutely. I have a client who used to live down the street from my house until last November. They decided to move, and she called me up uh, yesterday. I was at work. I was like, "I'll call you as soon as I'm out," because we became really good friends. And by the time I call her back, she was crying. She
Ugh,
was like sobbing. She's like, "I'm not used to the new space. You transformed my life when I was, in Connecticut. And I'm not used to having more space than I used to have. I'm completely overwhelmed. I felt like I was focusing on so many great things when my house was completely dialed in. And now I'm just trying to figure it out, this whole new layout and this going back. She's like, I think going back to where I was is even harder than staying stuck because she was stuck, for a long time. So it is life changing. It is a life style, living with less, knowing exactly what you have, tracking what you bring into your home. This is all lifestyle that makes your life so much simpler and so much easier to manage.
What freaks me out is all right, we get to the point of everything's organized.
Mhm.
How do I maintain it? That's what scares me because I've done this. My old house, I had a really big pantry and I took the time once to do all of the organizing and I got the glass jars and I poured all the things in and like it looked very nice and I had the baskets. But maintaining that every week when the groceries come in and all of that was just so not feasible. And
Mhm.
that's just the pantry, like thinking about closets and all that. What are your tips for maintaining it?
Okay. So number one, although the glass jars and the baskets might seem really appealing, it may have not been the right system for you because you found that little difficult level of difficulty to maintain. Um, Having weekly resets, and we like to call it. Sometimes on my stories, I'll pop in and I'm like, "Oh, I'm in the middle of my weekly reset." Which is basically like at this point, my house only needs reset. And it's been for the last 8, 10 years, right? Those are just quick extra minutes. So let's say um if you struggle with maintaining the pantry, you know that when groceries come in, you need that extra 5 minutes to decant things, because if you're in the rush, like there, I like to joke that there is only one thing that makes me really messy, and I can be really messy, is hurry. I can be, if I'm in the rush, I can be a tornado. If I'm in the hotel room and I need to get ready, I always hope that nobody comes into my room, because that's my worst. Like if you make me rush, you bet everything is going to be like a disaster. So if you know this about yourself, it's nice to know that you need that extra time to decant things, and make sure that labels are always like your best friend. Knowing where everything is. Labels are pre-made decisions in any space. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to make that decision. So knowing where things need to go, it's always time saving. But that's a little trick that you do have to pay attention. If something's not working, it doesn't mean it's the wrong system, but it may not be the right system for you, for your home, for your space.
I didn't even know there were different types of organizing systems.
Yes, and that's why I like
Katie's going to be calling you
clients.
after this. She lives in Connecticut.
I live in Connecticut. Yeah.
You
We're
might
going to
need
be
some
setting
help.
up an appointment.
And
So
that's why I would like to meet clients prior to project dates. We don't simply like show up. Let's say you schedule with us and we're just going to show up and organize your pantry. I do like to know clients beforehand. Yeah.
I have a question. So this was one that I've been putting off for a very long time, is my closet. So I know I need to get rid of things, but like, again, I walk in there and I'm just like so overwhelmed of like where to start. So what are your recommendations for cleaning the closet, getting rid of stuff, and actually a good way to organize the closet?
Okay.
Clothes closet, I mean, like in bedroom closet, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
like clothes, shoes, bag, all that.
Yeah. Okay. I like to say that if you're struggling with your closet, your problem is actually lives in the laundry room, not in the closet. Because oftentimes what happens is, and that can happen to anyone, right? Again, if you're rushing, if you don't have a system for laundry days or laundry, or if you never finish, because we tend to do laundry. My mom used to joke, because she's like, I don't know why you guys take so long to do something that a washing machine does the heavy bulk of the work. So it doesn't make sense that it takes 3 days for you to put clothes away when you haven't even washed it. The machine did and dried. So so the problem always starts there. So if you don't have a system for your laundry days, there is a very high chance that your closet will be overflowing, messy. Again, if you don't have a good time management for when you're getting ready, right? I do need extra time because I'm not in my best shape. So I do need that extra time to try things on and see what would fit better. Or if I'm in the rush, there is clothes that it's probably going to land on the floor. So if you want to start organizing your closet, I always recommend getting a clothing rack, put it outside your
Mm.
closet, pull things out by category. So I can simply pull everything out at once, but I do recommend, if you're doing yourself, let's say all your sweaters come out, purge those sweaters, you're done with that category. Next up, jeans and pants. Pull them out, purge. Make sure that you do check if they have stains, if they have seen better days, if you have more duplicate of that same item, because it does happen that you would buy because you couldn't find the one you had, so you bought a different one. And also the monetary value again goes back. I had pair of jeans in my closet for a long time that I don't think it will ever fit me again.
I
But
have that.
sometimes, right? But have in mind that again, the price that you pay, the money left when you purchase. So let that go, move on, purchase new stuff. Shopping is fun and it would always be fun, but it's a lot more fun when you bring home an item that you love and you worked hard for, but you have a designated place for it. So we often see high valued items that have no place to go until we actually organize that space, obviously. But you can tell when you run out of surface in a closet, floors becomes your surface, right? And if you look when we come into a messy closet, first thing you look is like, where is, the high value items so we can display and showcase those special things. But if everything is on the floor, you can't really tell what was $10 and what was $5,000. So you do want to make sure you go through everything you have in categories so you're not overwhelmed, but really keep things you love and you actually wear to
Is that,
continue.
do you suggest like hanging things a certain way, or should some things be folded and not hung? Like, is that part of the process, or is it more of the person's space dictates certain how things are done?
Both. I we do a space actually does tell you a lot of what you can and you can't do. Not everyone has a walk-in closet with 20 different size drawers and tons of space to hang. I do have to say, if you do struggle with folding and doing laundry, in general, I do recommend hanging. Hanging is one step down from folding, right? Like my kids, most of their clothes are in hangers because I do have them to put their clothes away now. They're old enough. So I know that folding will take an extra step. I don't want them to feel frustrated because I will probably go and check if they did it perfectly. So to avoid all of those things, we do like to hang things. Um, as long as hanging, try to group them in categories just to make your decision easier in the morning. But the space will tell you exactly. Some people have tons of shelving, but they have very little spaces for hanging. So that says you might have to fold your sweaters, you might have to fold your shirts. Some clients don't have any drawers at all. So adding a dresser in the room is also a solution if you don't have any drawers in your closet. Multi-purpose items, furniture pieces will help you with all of those things. But do recognize I do recognize that hanging for me is a lot easier. For my husband to put things back, all of his stuff is hanging because it's a lot easier for him. So you do have to recognize those things.
There's also a special skill when it comes to folding. Like I can't fold a nice, tidy t-shirt to save my life. And then my husband does it like he works at the Gap. Like, it's really funny. Did you know that about him, Amy?
I did not know that about him. I did not. That's surprising. It's funny that you say that because I have a lot of things hung because I have a lot of hanging space and I have less drawers. But I also find, and maybe it's just me, when stuff's in the drawers, it's like I don't have it, like I don't see it. So I like to see everything because otherwise I'm like, I don't know. But
Same.
I actually had an organizer years ago that helped me with my closet. And the way I have it organized, like mine isn't stuff on the floor. Well, I guess shoes and stuff are on the floor that I need to get rid of. But I think she told me to, because I have it kind of organized by what it is. Yeah, what it is. Like, so let's say tops, color, and then like type. So if it's like, I don't know, like a long sleeve shirt, then it's like, light to dark and like,
Yeah.
so that's kind of I'm still kind of following that system. I don't know if it's right, but I saw something on your Instagram that I was intrigued with that I thought was really cool for hanging jeans. It was like a hook instead of like folding your jeans over the thing. What is that and where do I get it? Because I was like, that's even less work than hanging it over the hanger. You could literally just hang it.
Yes. By the belt hook, but by the belt, what is it called?
By the belt hook. Yeah.
The loop. Yeah.
The loop. Yes. So, I did it first in my daughter's closet because she loves jeans. And I was like, she can't fold it. She can't fold it. We don't have enough drawers. Let's just hang them. Let's just, get hooks and just hang them and see how it goes. Perfect. Never had once had to go back and fix anything because that's like a
genius.
dumb proof way of, and first of all, some people don't like that little mark that the hanger will, like the little. So I was like, this is perfect. I'm going to use it for me. I'm going to use it for my husband. We're all going to do the same way of hanging jeans. It's been working wonderful for clients. especially again, if you're not a big fan of folding, if you don't have enough time, if you don't have the skills of folding, just skip that and hang your jeans.
And where did you get is it a special type of hanger that has the hooks?
No, it's actually single hooks. So Amazon has it. We love the ones from
Ooh.
Amazon. The Container Store also has them, but they come in last in the pack. So Amazon is the best
So is it just,
option.
does it like hook over the bar and then it's just literally like a hook?
Just over the rod. Yeah, just make sure because some people have that really thick rod that only fits like hangers. Just
Mhm.
make sure you buy the ones that are a little wider, because some are
Okay.
tiny, more like for metal shelving, not actually for clothing. So make sure you just get the wider ones. But
Okay, and
those
then you
work
literally just hang it.
perfect.
So I would
Just hang it.
imagine if you have that, you would want to hang that on a higher rack so the jeans don't hit the floor, or does it?
It depends. We actually do use the bottom. We like to use the top for tops, bottom for bottoms.
Mhm.
But it really goes by how much space you have, because
Mhm.
those usually the bottom rod is usually fixed. You can't really regulate the height. So
Right.
check what you have in your closet. Check, for me, for example, I'm short. I'm 5'2". I can easily hang mine whenever. But my husband's a little, he's taller, so we needed more room. So play around and see what works best.
Yeah, I love that because I hate hanging the jeans and I hate that thing. So
And folding, who likes folding?
I know. And then I can maybe get rid of some of my jeans because I was like, I just have
Collection.
way too many, even though I do wear a lot of jeans. I was like, all right. Okay. So I
I
like
know.
these tips. You've inspired me to like start. Do you also recommend from a closet standpoint to like do it all in one day or do sections?
Definitely sections.
Yeah.
Even with 3 or 4 organizers, that's a full day project for us
Yeah.
because there is a lot of folding involved. The last thing you want is start something and feel frustrated in the middle of it and just having to shove everything back. So, recognize that nobody has the skills. I mean, not everyone has the skills, and if it's only you, recognize that you need a lot more time. We're sometimes 3, 4 professionals doing
Yeah.
it, and we still need a full day.
It's
Do you
also nice to
recomm-
work with a professional because they can like make the decision for you. Because I found that when I worked with someone years ago, I was like, should I get rid of it? And she's like, yes, done. I
Yes.
was like, oh,
Yeah.
it took me like half
Right.
the time. So I've been by myself. I'm like, well, maybe I'll wear this. And it's been like
Yeah.
5
Try
years.
it
I still haven't
on.
worn it. Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Exactly.
Sorry, Katie. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, do you recommend labeling for kids, like my girls' closets or their toy room? I've been thinking about doing this for a while, especially for my older one. She has ADHD. So things that can be like very messy inside the drawers, like myself. I guess that's maybe where she gets it from. Maybe it's not the ADHD. But I feel like if I labeled things, then she will have okay, my shorts go in this drawer. Like, is that something that you do often?
Often you have to. Labels are, like I said, they're pre-made decisions, especially for people who really feel overwhelmed making decisions. There's different studies that shows that we make at least 800 decisions a day without knowing that we're making decisions. So
Yeah.
what do I wear? What sneakers do I wear today? So we don't even notice that. The last thing you want is deciding where, especially for kids, it's pretty overwhelming. If labels are there, they're great at following directions. Great. Kids are awesome at following directions. So labels in place, you won't have to even like ask, which is huge for kids. Not having to ask to put things where they need to go. Labels will tell them everything they need to know. That bin holds your arts and crafts. This bin holds your shirts, and you know, definitely invest in labels and you will see how amazing they work for you.
Do you have a favorite label maker?
I do. I have a few. I have several, but the P-Touch Cube is one of my favorites because you can play with different label sizes in one machine, opposed to having to buy one size label for that specific machine.
Okay, nice. All right,
Yeah.
we'll have to put that link in our show notes.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about, we didn't talk about two topics. We could like talk about this all day because I love like this whole organizing conversation. But two things. First the fridge, and then the like kitchen, mudroom, mail, like cluttery type stuff. So let's start with fridge.
Okay.
'Cause our fridges can get out of control.
Right. I feel like fridge, I hate to say that you have to take one day to actually completely clean out your fridge. Although you do, I would say every 3 months, seasonal.
Mm-hmm.
Take everything out, wash from top to bottom, soap and water, go to town. But the secret to keeping it organized, it's not even products, because some people, if you add two products, they're done. Like there's no room for leftovers, there's no room. So I hate to, that's very controversial, because if you see pictures online of fridge organizations, you're like, this is like porn. It's so good. There's so many products. And I can't believe they only eat fruit and veggies because that's what
Right.
looks good in containers. But in real life, we do have leftovers. You have takeouts and all of those things. So, the secret to keeping it organized is really like I'm used to doing food shopping once a week, right? Instacart delivers. I know that day I need to kind of like spend 10, 15 minutes just cleaning out and bringing new stuff in. Washing all the fruits and vegetables before putting in the fridge is a huge time saving. It's not that I'm crazy about washing them and putting them in the fridge, although it's kind of gross, but it's more like time saving. So once it's done, it's done. We just have to kind of like live a whole week until I actually refresh again. And that takes us back again to that weekly refresh that every space in your home will need to keep things organized. And you said mudroom and
Like
kitchen
mudroom,
counter.
kitchen counters, that kind of situation.
Okay. There is a difference between, which it took me years to realize, and actually that was like the light switch that it blows my mind that it took me so long to realize that there is two different types of clutter, right? And in my head, it was always like, the entire house is cluttered. I need to, let's just burn it down and move out. But the thing is, there is a thing called expected mess and clutter, right? Expected mess is basically what we all struggle with. It's the daily refresh that we need to do, is the cleaning the counters, picking up the shoes from the mudroom, putting backpacks away, cleaning up your bathroom counters after you brush your teeth and put your makeup on, putting things away. That's all expected because you have a family. There is no such a thing as a house that it's perfect all the time. Mess will happen. It's actually a great sign that you have, healthy kids and life and all of those things. But once you realize that the expected mess is not negotiable, you have to do it, right? I deserve to wake up with a clean kitchen. But in order that to happen, I need to act on the non-negotiable, which is cleaning up the kitchen after dinner, right? And that applies for, I think mudroom and kitchen counters are really like one feeds the other. Mudroom is like the only room in my house that I tell the kids, I'm like, drop everything you have. I don't care how it looks. I'll catch up. I'll get to that at the end of the day, at the end of the week. I don't care. But everything needs to stop there. So when you realize, when you do know the difference between the expected mess and the clutter, things become really clear. Really clear. Okay, so if I don't act on things that are really important, which is the expected mess, right? I need to clean up the kitchen after breakfast. I need to pick up the mail and, sort through and have a place to put it. My house, that would save me so much time that I would actually have time to tackle on the real clutter, because that's not the expected mess is non-negotiable. I act on it. It's done. That frees up space for me to really act on the root of the problem, which is the clutter that It's behind doors, like we were talking.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the part that I'm really, really good at, the expected mess. I all day long I can deal with that when I get home from work, before I go to bed, etc. But then it's like I take the expected mess things that maybe don't have a home and I shove them in like a junk drawer.
That's like what happens with our mail. It's like piles up,
Yeah.
and my husband can't stand it. He's like, "What's all this clutter?" And I'm like, "I don't even know where to put it."
Yeah.
So I have a system for paper clutter that I started using years and years ago, and it really has changed. And I, even if clients say, you know what, it's fine, I don't really have mail, coming, they don't really use that certain door that leads to the kitchen to bring mail in. I'm like, I'm gonna give you this bin as a gift and tell me if it works in 2 months. Soon enough, after 2 months, when we come back for the next project or to see them again, you notice that it's been used. So it's literally an acrylic box. They sell it on from, we get it from Amazon, but the Container Store has a really pretty one that blends in any counter. Any counter. You could have the most beautiful, luxury kitchen. If you have that box, you wouldn't even notice it's there. So we use files inside that box. It's either like blue, light blue, or white, depending on the aesthetics of the home. And then we have different files. In my home, for example, we have 5 or 6. One for act, which it really catches all the mail that we need to act on. Or at least for a while you think you need to. Like, oh, it's a form from school, or it's a bill that needs to be paid, goes into the act file. The labels are beautiful. They're vinyl labels, so it's very subtle. Like I said, you wouldn't even notice the box is there. Goes in the act file. The other file is called file. That means those are act on paper that needs to be filed. But I do not feel like going upstairs and filing those paper that paper right away. So it's gonna fill that file until it's full, and then I'll act on and move to my file cabinet. The other one is for the kids. So that just lands anything that comes in that I need. I don't need to act on, but those are information like USA gymnastics card, USA swimming card, things that I need handy. But if I place anywhere else, there is a very high chance that I won't remember where it is. So it's there. And then a couple of other ones like miscellaneous that are just like random stuff like cards, contacts that we have that it has to be there. We need to keep it handy. But those that box catches 100% of your paper clutter. There is no such a thing as papers laying around I would say for the last 10 years in my house.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I need this box. You need to tell us where to get this box so we can this organizing box where we put all the things with the folders, because I think our audience would find that valuable as well as us, because I'm okay.
Yeah, we have clients that have one file for coupons, one for recipes, one for calendar or things like that you don't want to live on the counter. You need a space for it. Let's just face it. If you have I don't know if your office is right off the kitchen, but unless your office is right off the kitchen, there is a very high chance that you do have paper clutter sitting on your counter.
So you just put it in the box and the box stays in the mudroom? Is that what you were saying? Or it stays in the kitchen?
Mine stays in the kitchen, but you can have it in the mudroom. Perfect. Whatever. Make sure that it's visible and it's right by the door that you would actually come in. Because as soon as we walk in,
you throw stuff down.
Recycling, act, file, done. Takes like 5 seconds.
I love that.
Nice. Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
I was just looking over in my office, and I have an entire corner piled up with all of my children's artwork and school supplies. And not school supplies, I'm sorry, but like anything that they came home with, homework that just looked cute, and like any project. And it's from years.
I have that in my closet.
Faster. Yeah. I'm like, what do I do with this?
And you don't want to throw it away because you're like,
really
oh, you want to look back at it.
I know.
That's a great question. I do have another solution, which is called Memory Box. It's called the Memory Box. We do make it for clients. I used to make it and ship those boxes, but it just became a little bit of a, time consuming on top of my day-to-day work. But it's basically a box. I do have to say, go through that pile again, because you might have find that you have 57 different footprints or handprints of your kids, and you only need 5 of them because those are from the same school year. So pare down what you're keeping. Have in mind that one of the things that we do see when we do state organizing, which have taught me a lot about what to keep for my kids and from my kids and things that I want to pass on. Like they each have one box and one trunk. That's it. They're 14 and 12. And I only have a few years left to fill that up and just, send them away. But I gave myself a physical space to fill it up. So I know that I can't overpass that, that's little box or that trunk. So pare down to what you have. But then this memory box that we have made for clients, and we still do, they have different files from baby and pre-K all the way to high school. Each file holds that school year, which is, you can add school pictures, projects. If you can't remember, that's fine. You can kind of guess what's from elementary school to middle school and high school, obviously. But as long as they don't overflow that, it's a file box. It's a plastic, tight file box about this size. And you know that your space would be that file. If you have more than that specific, that you can fit in that specific space, it's time to probably purge.
Right.
Right. I like that idea because it's like the more space you have, the more you'll just fill it up.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
had this when my kids were little, and especially in preschool and elementary school. I used to associate the fact that I was only going to be a good mom if I was sitting on the floor all day playing with, or at least the time that I was home playing with my kids. I had that vision, when you see commercials and you're like, oh, the mom is playing and doing puzzles and coloring. I was never that mom because I worked full time. And by the time I used to get home, it was, anyways. So I had that picture in my head that I was like, okay, because I'm not home all the time, I'm going to keep everything for them. And, for the longest time, every single little handprint from preschool that they couldn't even sign their name, but the teacher put the date on the back, I have to keep it. And then I found something about myself that it was life changing again. The age that they are now, it's very challenging. 2 girls, 12 and 14, not that fun. But on the other end, I'm the mom that I love I rather have conversations than playing on the floor. That was just something I learned about myself. But that helped me pare down the things that I do want them to have. They are also at the age that they have done a couple times. We went through that little box and they told me, like, I don't want this. I don't want that little tree that I made in,
Right.
first grade. You can get rid of that. But I know that all the yearbooks they love, the school pictures they love, certain projects that they did, and I saved things that they spend a lot of time. They did want it to keep. So we reevaluate, not every year maybe, but whenever we have a chance or we're down in the basement, I'm like, why won't we bring all your pictures out in that little box and let's just go. We make it fun, but I always bring a garbage bag with me.
Yeah. That's funny because I have gone through I've tried to do that with my girls. Like they always come home with an art folder at the end of the year, like a huge art
Yes.
folder.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so should we keep this one? Yes. What about this one? Yes. It's every single one. And of course I want to keep them too, but like I try to pare it down and they're still at that age where they're like, no, mom, you're not getting rid
Maybe
of
show
that
them something
yellow dot."
this year from last year and then see how they feel because it's like a
Right.
year old,
Yes. And also there's a bunch of apps that you can download those projects and make
Yeah.
it like a yearbook, photo book.
Yeah,
And
I've
there's
seen
different
those.
ways. Yeah. Yeah.
Those are
So
cute.
yeah.
Nice. All right.
Okay, let's get into our wrap
Yeah.
session. Just as a side note, Katie, I have to wrap it too. So that's why I could
Yeah.
like literally talk all day because I love this stuff. Okay, let's get into our wrap session because I've been like looking at your skin and it's so beautiful. So we need to get all of your beauty hacks as well while we have you. So what is your favorite wellness or beauty hack?
Oh my gosh, I feel so bad because I'm not that good about it, but I do take let's put it this way. I've been better. Uh these days I feel like I focus a lot more on obviously sunscreen,
Hmm.
but I do take, which you have probably heard from other people, who Kat Ashmore, she also takes the same thing. And it's funny because when we first met, she's like, I'm like, you do take the liquid collagen. She's
Oh,
like,
I take
yes.
it
I'm like,
too.
me too. Yes.
I buy it from her. Yeah, her link.
Good.
Yeah.
So I've been taking for I would say 4 years now.
Oh, wow. Okay. I just
Yeah.
started like
So
6 months ago.
but you will see a huge improvement in your
Mm.
skin. It's life changing. So I do take that daily. Um, and I do take different supplements. There is one, it's called Well-Being Vitamins. I buy them from Amazon, but I swear by it. And a lot of sunscreen. Over the
Yeah.
years, I noticed that I do need it. I've been on and off in the winter time. I know you're supposed to wear them even in the winter, but now I'm back at it.
Nice. All
Oh,
right.
you
Well,
can
this
tell
one,
your skin's beautiful.
yeah, it is. It's
Thank
beautiful. It's
you.
glowing. This next one we called our 5-minute flow. You just got out of the shower and Uber's pinged you. They're 5 minutes away. What are you gonna do to get into that Uber on time? Like you have holy grails that you go to get out the door?
You mean clothing or just like,
Yeah, like whatever. What's your beauty routine?
oh, okay, okay. Uh, any makeup that I would do cannot take longer than 7 minutes because I'm not good at it. I pare down with the things like the items that I like and know how to use, and that takes me literally 7 minutes to get out the door. So it's basically just like vitamin C and then a quick like just like I just it's a dirty sponge. You just put a little bit of a foundation. But then it's literally like I just make it really dirty and I'll just go around my face. That's literally what I did before the show.
Eh,
And just blush and lip gloss. I
yeah.
get my lashes done, so they do take away a lot of the makeup time, I would say, because it looks like
Yeah.
you're ready all the time. That's always helpful. And then I'll throw a black dress on
And you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Nice.
and I'm ready to go.
Love it.
Simple, classic. Love it.
Simple. Yeah.
Okay. And how do you maintain your daily nirvana?
Whew. I've been trying my hardest to be consistent because I feel like you get sometimes you're so good, but then life, changes and then your routine changes. But one thing that I try to keep it simple. It takes no longer than 10 minutes in the morning, but I do wake up before the kids. I do my daily devotional and I read if I'm reading a book or I try to do all those things in the morning, and that really keeps my sanity. And I feel like my day just started. If I don't do those things, I'm kind of off until
Yeah.
like, do you feel that way?
I do. Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally get it. It's a great way to start the day. I do the same. I get it up an hour before my kids for that exact reason. If I don't, actually, I don't even know the last time was that I didn't. Like,
Yeah.
Wow.
Because then you
Yeah.
don't
yeah,
feel right. You're
because
like,
then
oh,
I have to have at least 30 minutes, but typically it's an hour.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And where can people find you if they want to work with you or follow you on Instagram?
Yeah. So we're very active on social media, especially on Instagram. Um, but if you go on our website, there is a way of scheduling a over the phone consultation. That's the first step. Find us on social media. Make sure you head to our website. Schedule a 15-minute over the phone. That's just a discovery call. We like to call it. I get to hear what kind of help you need. There's when you fill out the form, it asks for pictures. So you just send, a couple pictures just for me to have an idea of the space. But after the discovery call, it's pretty easy. We talk about pricing, scheduling, and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll move from that. As soon as you're on my schedule, you're good to
And what's
go. And
what's your website URL and your handle?
yes, yes, it's topteamct.com. You will find all the information you need there. There's a quick form that you fill out, and then you get to pick the dates and times that works for you for the call. It's very simple. We make it, like I said, I like to simplify, not complicate people's lives, starting with the
Nice.
call.
I love that. I love that. Well, thank you so much for all your generous time today and all your tips and tricks. I love it. I'm going to start implementing some of these, and we'll get all the links from you so we can share with our
Yeah.
community. And thank you so much for joining us. This was so helpful.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank
Anna.
you so much, girls.
Thanks for listening to Nirvana Sisters. For more information on this episode, check out the show notes, please subscribe, and leave us a review. Also, find us on Instagram at Nirvana Sisters. If you loved what you just listened to or know someone that would, please share it and tag us. Tune in next week for a fresh new episode of Nirvana Sisters. We'll continue to watch out for all things wellness so you don't have to. Bye.